Problem 16. Annie and Bonnie are running laps around a 400-meter oval track. So imagine this to be the oval track and this is 400 meters. They started together. Let's say they started right here. So that's the two persons right there. But Annie has pulled ahead because she runs 25% faster than Bonnie. How many laps will Annie have run when she first passes Bonnie? So the idea here is to not to treat this as a circular thing, right? Treat this as a straight line. Think of this as 400 meters, right? As I unravel this race thing, and just think about it as I travel more 400-meter lengths. This way, it's much easier to visualize because straight lines can deal with much better arithmetic, and I think that's much easier. So now that we have this, how can we interpret the information? We know Annie, right? She runs 25% faster than Bonnie. So what is the velocity of Annie? Well, the velocity of Annie, right, must be 25% faster. That's 5 over 4b. And why is that the case? Well, let's say that the velocity, or this would be VB. Let's say that the velocity of Bonnie is VB, right? So then if we want 25% more, that's VB plus 1 over 4b, VB. And if you combine this, that's 5 over 4 VB. So that's why we have this to be equal to VA. Now let's determine the distance. The distance that Bonnie runs is equal to the velocity that she runs at, which is VB, times the time she takes. Now the distance that Annie runs is equal to her velocity, VA, times her time of TA. But we know that her velocity is 5/4 of VB times TA. Now what do we know? We know that they started together. So what does that mean? That means that let's say they started here, right? This is time is equal to 0. So the time that it took for them to run the equal distances when she first passes Bonnie would have taken the equal amount of time. So that means TA is equal to TB at a time that they pass each other. And that should make sense. So then we can say that TA is TB, so this becomes TB. But then we know that VB times TB is equal to DB. So this is 5 over 4 DB. So what this means is that at the time that they cross each other, indicated by TA is equal to TB, the distance that Annie run must have been 5 times 1 over 4 dB, or in other words, it's equal to dB plus 1 over 4 dB. So that just basically means that she ran 4 laps, but then she ran 1 extra lap in order to catch up here, which is why I have 5 over 4 times the distance that she ran, which is why your final answer would be choice D.